Fish on.
It is a stinking nice one. This thing really better not come off. Oh yeah, it's a huge one. It's like a 15 pounder. 15 pounds, get the net. Fish on, whoa! My name is Liam and I live in a small town on the ocean at the northern border of California. Fishing has been my game since I was 4 years old. Crescent City is my hometown. In Crescent City, within 10 minutes, I can go to the store, fish a world-class salmon and steelhead river, or surf my favorite beach, Pebble Beach. Right out of my front window, every day, I can look out and see a huge forest of ancient redwoods. My grandpa put my first rod and reel in my hands when I was very young. He has been obsessed with fishing since he was little. I remember very clearly one day when he told me with a smirk and a twinkle in his eye how he got arrested for driving a car when he was 14 years old after he was driving home from fishing. In 1969, he started building boats for a living. His business was called Bang On Boats. His most popular boat model was a 20-foot ski boat. His small shop crafted around 65 boats a year. Years later, after he retired from the boat business, he built more fishing boats for himself. The main boat that he uses nowadays is a 14-foot fiberglass skiff, made by him of course. When I was a young kid, my parents took me over to visit my granny and grandpa at least once a week. When I got to be 4 or 5, Grandpa started to show me how to cast the fishing line down the stairwell of his 3-story beach house. He had a special pole for me that I used to practice cast down the stairs. I still use that same pole today. When I got pretty good at casting, he started taking me on fishing trips. My first fishing trips were right outside of the Crescent City Harbor in his little skiff. We would fish for snapper and herring when they were in the harbor to spawn. My next fishing trips he took me on were at the mouth of the Smith River for salmon. I never caught one until I was 13, but I still had a great time. After learning a lot from Grandpa, my parents started taking me fishing when I was about 9 years old. The first few years of going by myself were tough because I never fished from the shore before. I had to teach myself what bait to use, when to fish for certain species, and where to fish for them. The first fish I was obsessed with catching were red-tailed surf perch. I had never caught one before, but had seen local anglers catch them. First I had to learn where to find them. I soon found out why they were called surf perch. They live close to the shore and the ocean surf. After I learned where to fish for them, I had to find out what kind of bait to use. After getting all the information I could, I went to the beach to try to catch one. I probably went 10 times before I finally caught a tiny silver perch, which wasn't what I was looking for. After learning even more about the red tails, trying new spots, different bait, different tide, at long last, I finally caught one. I was so happy I finally caught a new species of fish by myself. Another species of fish that I enjoy catching are rainbow trout out of the Smith River. Whenever we go to the river in the summer to swim, I always bring my rod to fish for trout. A couple of years ago, I wanted to try to catch adult rainbow trout called steelhead.
So I just had one. Lost them up here. There's a bunch up here actually. I saw them like probably a foot off the bank. Threw my lure a couple of times. Then he bit, but had him on for like 30 seconds. And then he just plopped off. Going back up right now.
I knew that they're in the river, but never tried for them because fishing for them is much more difficult than fishing for summer trout. Steelhead run in the winter into early spring. The first 2 years I tried fishing for them, I only hooked a couple but didn't land any. Last winter's steelhead season, I had much better luck. I had one of my best fishing trips on the South Fork of the Smith River. It was closing day of steelhead season, and it was a very warm, sunny spring day. I landed 2 fish that were very nice and hooked 5 or 6. The water was crystal clear, the air was warm, we were high in the mountains, and the fact that my mom was willing to take me and my brother up there made it one of my best fishing trips, and I've gone fishing a lot. I have many more fishing memories with my grandpa and my parents that I will always remember. As I grow up and get older, I hope to keep fishing and learning more about Del Norte County. I will always cherish what my grandpa taught me and all the great memories we had together fishing. That's the story of me and of Redwood Coast fishing behind the scenes that I don't usually talk about, but there's a little story for Redwood Coast fishing viewers. Thanks for watching. Here at the river, time to get fishing.